Hi everyone, Happy New Year and welcome to another episode of the Talk is Cheap show. This is episode number 13. So thank you for tuning in. So for those of you who don't know already, the Talk is Cheap show is a show that looks at matters in the world of football, mainly relating to Arsenal, although not exclusively so. But before we go any further, just want to introduce my homie, Big C in the house. What you saying, bro?
Good New Year.
Yeah, man.
Good stuff.
How you been?
Yeah, good, man.
How's the 2020 treating you so far?
It's good so far.
It is, isn't it?
Started well.
Yeah, it's not bad, man. I mean, although could be a challenging year, man. I mean, first we've got the big Brexit thing on the horizon.
Yeah.
And secondly, we could be at war in 2020, man.
Well,
what's your thoughts on that? Don't want to get too political, but boy.
Could be heading back to the Caribbean.
Could be going to hell in a handcart at this rate, man. Well, what's the latest today? Man's blowing up plane and
it's crazy,
it's all kicking off.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've got a great show for you guys. I know you're going to enjoy it. So to kick things off for 2020, I thought it's only right and pertinent that we look at Arsenal's last two games since our last show. So let's have a look. Wednesday, New Year's Day. Arsenal, big game, home to Man United, North versus South and all of that. Curtis, you're a resident expert, man. Tell the people what you thought about that game.
Great way to start the new year.
It was.
Man United are so bad, they actually made us look good, didn't they? So that was the great way to start the year, man. But no, you know what? We deserve that result. We outplayed them.
But let me ask you, was you confident we were going to get that win going into that game?
No, not at all.
No, was I.
The game didn't pan out any way like I expected it to. I thought they'd hit us on the counter-attack non-stop. I mean, Kolasinac got booked after 5 minutes and I was worried. I thought he's getting sent off.
Yeah.
But we just totally controlled the game. That first half, we just blew them off the pitch, really, didn't we? And
well, I've got to say right here and now, I reckon that Arteta must have been listening to the show.
Yeah. Pepe.
Shall I tell you why? Yeah, because we've been saying it, man.
You got to start
Big up
them,
to
man.
my man Curtis.
Come on, man, you got to start.
We've been saying for weeks on this show that Pepe should be starting, and let's face it, we'd already got a brief insight into that. We're at the West Ham game, and scored one and made one for Aubameyang. We won that one 3-1, and that was our best performance for a while up until that time. And in this game, man, he was devastated.
He had Luke Shaw spinning around, didn't he, man? He had him all over the place, bro. That's the thing. I mean, anyone who watches Pepe, you can see the talent what's there. We just need to unleash it, figure out the best way to get him playing properly. Nelson's a good young player, but I think he's got a lot of work to do. Yeah. I think Pepe needs to be the main man on that right-hand side.
Man. I mean, the difference in the quality is stark.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no disrespect to Reece Nelson. He'll come, man.
Yeah.
He'll come, but Pepe is the man.
Yeah.
Although we got to give it up to the defenders, though, man. I mean, they were outstanding. Torreira as well.
Yeah.
In fact, the three that I earmarked in that game for special praise, the whole team played well. Even Ozil. Ozil was, wow. Did you see the running that he did?
He put some hard work in that game.
I've never seen anything like it.
I've not seen him work like that.
No, I've never seen anything.
Oh, you've never seen anyone? I ain't even seen Mo Farah run that much.
Ozil, the treadmill was on it, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, he had the kind of game that, you can't quantify. I'm being a little sarcastic.
Yeah.
But no, he did play well.
He worked hard as well.
The whole team played well.
Yeah.
I singled out three for special attention. Kolasinac, Torreira and David Luiz. I think you could have given the man of the match to either of those three.
Yeah.
Me personally, I would have gone for David Luiz.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I named David Luiz as well.
Yeah.
Because his passing in that game was brilliant as well. To go with the defending and the leadership qualities that he displayed. But yeah, I agree with you on the other two. Kolasinac, first game back. He was excellent. Torreira covered so much ground in that game. He was brilliant as well.
I mean, he's back in his normal position, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, is it just me? But like, you know, what I mean, you play guys in their right position,
it's not
and they tend to play better. I mean, you know,
the game's
I think sometimes managers, they tend to overthink.
This is it.
They want to be the smartest man in the room and play guys out of position and all that. When really, you bought a guy because of what he did in that position. It follows that you should play him in that position to get the best out of him.
There's so much like science and stats in the game now, isn't there? That some managers, they just get caught in it, man, overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you.
Very impressive. And it was our first clean sheet, I think, for 17 games preceding that.
Wow.
So yeah, very good performance. So moving on then to the second game since our last show, and that was Monday the 6th of Jan. In the FA Cup, Arsenal Leeds.
Wow. I mean, number one, that was our hardest game of the year so far, Leeds. I thought they'd sent Barcelona in disguise, because first half, I mean, look, I was positive that we won the game, but the way they played us off the pitch first half at home was, I think, even a little embarrassing.
I was at the game, man, and I just sat there aghast. Stood there, sorry. Yeah. Aghast. I was like, what is going on, man? Yeah. We were, like you said, we were making this team look like Real Madrid or Barca. Yeah. They were in that first half, they totally outplayed us. And I don't think there's an Arsenal fan who was at that game or saw it on TV that could say otherwise, man.
If it weren't for the keeper, we'd be 2 or 3-0 down at half time. Easy. I mean, the second half we improved.
Yeah. Apparently words were said, and I don't know if cups were thrown, but it looked like Arteta had to show the
dress a few man down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell us about the second half.
I mean, the second half we improved. We had a bit more intensity, played a bit higher. I still don't think the second half was great. No, I don't. I mean, the goal was as scrappy a goal as you'll ever see. Exactly, the cross deflected, and then Nelson tried his best to miss. Keeper didn't really know what was going on, and it just fell in the net. It was
because if you look at that goal, I think there was 2 deflections. Yeah. The first deflection was ended up at Reece Nelson's feet, and then, like he said, he miskicked it. Yeah. And it hit like a deflection and went in. Yeah. No, man. I mean, I thought that was I mean, we did get better in the second half, but overall, I was quite disappointed.
I think in cup football, when you haven't been winning as well, you've just got to win the game. Yeah, that's absolutely the main thing with it. It's another clean sheet as well.
Yeah.
And a few young players. Played. Martinelli came back. Yeah. Nelson got a goal. Holding played, although didn't play great, but.
I think the thing that struck me with Holding is that first half argument he had with Xhaka. Yeah. I thought they were going to start fighting.
Xhaka was going to blow up again, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know,
fiery character, but yeah.
But you know what? The positive is, like, we came away with a win, and let's be honest. A few weeks before Arteta come in, that would a game that we probably would have lost.
Couldn't buy. Or
at least it would have been a replay. Yeah. And you know what? I stood there, watching the game, and I kept thinking to myself, we do not want this to go to a replay. Oh, no. Because to go up to Leeds.
Midweek.
Well, I have to say, by the way, Leeds impressed me, man.
Do you know what?
They look a good team.
I'll be shocked if they're not in the Premier League next season.
Yeah, man, they look good.
Really good.
It weren't one of, because, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, it wasn't one of those performances from an away team where it was all hustle and bustle and trying to put Arsenal off their game. They looked, in possession, they looked good. I was impressed.
Bielsa's a very good coach.
Yeah, I think if they had a striker worthy of the name on that day, I reckon we could have been 2 or 3-0 down.
Yeah, easily.
So, yeah.
Got away with it in the end.
But we did, man. Yeah, so slightly fortunate, but we got the win, and that's the main thing. And just by the way, on that as well, that's quite an important win, really, isn't it? Because if we're being realistic, the FA Cup, it's got to be one of the trophies that he targets, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Europa League and the FA Cup, they're the 2 that we can win. So I think it's important we try and get a good run together.
Absolutely. So there you go, people. That Leeds game, the proverbial game of 2 halves, but we got the winner into the next round. I think we're playing Bournemouth.
Bournemouth away, yeah.
Bournemouth away. That should be another winnable game, we hope. So let us know what you guys feel. So our first main topic for 2020 is one that originated after the Leeds game. Me and my man Curtis met up after the game, and we happened to be stood round by Robbie, who's doing a great job. Shout out to Robbie, Brennan, Tao, Loomis, all the team for the great work they do on match days. But anyway, yeah, so we were stood there and we were watching all the fan cams and chatting to all the fans. Really interesting when you do that, to kind of get people's thoughts and impressions of the game afterwards. And me and my man Curtis here, we were looking at each other a little perplexed, bewildered. We were like, when we were listening to some of the comments and some of the things that were being said, some of the really positive, what I would say over the top statements about what we mean. Me and you looked at each other and it was like,
calm down.
Was we at the same game as these people? Because it just seemed to be going a bit over the top. And myself and Curtis were chopping up after the game in one of the local restaurants. Actually, we could say it, can't we? Shout out Mr. Chuck's, man.
Chuck's, man.
Yeah, we're in Mr. Chuck's chopping up after the game. And we were of the view that some of the Arsenal fans are gassing themselves up a little bit too much. And so we were saying, look, are the fans blowing smoke up their arsenal? So that's the topic of this segment of the show, people. Are the fans, with the reasonable start that we've had, no, let's say it's a good start, it's a good start, but some of the fans seem to be getting a little bit carried away, so I just wanted to know what you thought about it, Kurt.
I mean, look, we've had a bad time as Arsenal fans, so I think people are clinging to the positives. But you'd think Arteta had won 3 Champions Leagues, and we've won the league. I mean, we've won a couple of games, but let's reel it in a little bit. There's a long way to go this season. Long way to go. If we don't get back in the Champions League by winning the Europa League, I don't think anything else can be considered a success.
No.
If we finish 5th, even if we win the FA Cup, none of that means nothing really. I mean, an FA.
No. So what are you saying? So if you don't even think the FA Cup?
Nah.
Really?
No.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think you're being a bit harsh, bro.
On that day, I would celebrate winning the FA Cup. It'll go down in the memory bank, but we need to be in the Champions League. That's the only way we can climb that ladder. I don't think winning the FA Cup pushes us up the ladder. I don't think.
No, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
But wouldn't you regard winning the FA Cup as a success, though?
Small success.
Given, the state of the club when you arrived.
I think I even look at the year Wenger, I think, when he won the FA Cup, when we beat Chelsea, but we finished 5th in the league. All right, it was a great day, and I enjoyed the FA Cup final, but Sanchez still wanted to leave. We still struggled to bring in big players. I don't think the FA Cup holds any real big weight. It would be a small tick.
See, I'm old school, man. I remember the days of getting up and
FA Cup
the whole day was spent around watching the FA Cup on TV. So I'm revealing my age a little bit here, people, but maybe that's me. No, you're a lot younger, so maybe your aspirations are different. But I've always regarded the FA Cup as a major trophy, really, if I'm being honest. But seemingly not so much some of the younger fan base.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like to see us win it, but I don't think it's enough. I think we need to win the Europa League if possible.
Yeah, but do you think we can get top 4?
No.
Because it's not completely out of the question, is it?
I mean, don't get me wrong, we've got to get a run together. We've got to get a serious run together. And I think we need to strengthen in the market as well. But I've got no real faith that the Kroenkes will back Arteta enough in the window.
That could be key. It's just that, like, you was at the game and you was with me afterwards, and some of the fans, well, not some, a lot of the fans, the way they were going on, it's almost like they've gone from a 0 in recent weeks to 100 now. Yeah. And they're talking about, we can definitely get the top 4, especially after the United win and then the win against Leeds. Everyone's going, man, we're going to do this and that. And I'm like, you need to slow your roll a bit, bro.
Yeah.
Because we're not there yet. I mean, let's pull up some receipts, man. So Arteta's 4 games since he's been in charge. He's won 2, Man United and Leeds. Obviously, the Leeds was the FA Cup game. Drawn 1, Bournemouth, and lost 1, Chelsea. But the performances have been
better.
Significantly better. But do you think, for what you've seen so far, that that's enough to get us in that top 4 spot?
The top 4 is going to be really hard to get.
I agree.
I feel like when I look at Arteta, I do see a guy who's moving us in the right direction. I feel like the decision should have happened weeks before. And I think that might be the thing that costs us, because you look at the run we had before Arteta came in, Ljungberg and Emery. We had a lot of winnable games, and if things would have changed, I think we could easily be 7, 8, 9 points better off than we are. Top 4 will be hard, but not impossible. But I think...
So basically what you're saying then is that if we're going to qualify for the Champions League, I think it's going to have to be via the Europa League.
I believe so, yeah.
And looking at some of the teams left, certainly we got a chance there. However, when the Champions League dropouts come back into the tournament, it's going to make it decidedly harder.
So they've come back in now, haven't they? So you've got Ajax and Roma, teams like that, Inter Milan.
Do you see us beating those teams over 2 legs, though?
I think we can. I think we are almost like a cup side at the moment. I think we're a team that we can turn it on for a big game here and there, and I think that's.
See, this is the reason why I was keen to discuss this topic, because a lot of the fans are very optimistic, and I get that. Listen, we've been through a real bad time now. previously, sorry. It seems to be getting better now. The new manager's come in. I like his attitude. I like the way he set the team up. This high energy press and all the rest of it. You know, he's doing well so far. However, I think it might be a bit too much to ask him to continue that for the rest of the season. So, which is why I was like, you know, looking at some of the guys who were, you know, eulogizing outside where Robbie was filming the other day, and I was thinking, you know, these guys, man, they're getting a bit carried away from me. You know what I mean? Because we're still not there yet.
No, nowhere near.
And I tell you another thing, having watched all the games, obviously, that Arteta's been in charge of, the one thing I have noticed that he's trying to get the team to play this high press, high energy style, closing down.
Yeah.
And that's all well and good. It's very intense, it's very active, very dynamic. But the problem is that you cannot sustain that reasonably over 90 minutes, can you?
No.
And what we've seen in pretty much all Arteta's 4 games since he's come in is there's been quite a drastic fall off in the second half of games.
Yeah, massively. I mean, do you know what? I've played.
With the exception, obviously, of the Leeds game, we won that and we played better in the second half. But in the Premier League games,
yeah, we've fallen off. I've played in a team before where a manager did that high press, and I tell you, it takes a lot out of you.
Absolutely.
And you need a pre-season to be ready for that. Now, him coming in the middle of a season, it's going to be difficult to get their levels up to that point.
Yeah.
Which is why I think we are falling out of games in the second half, because the energy is being sapped out of them.
And I'll tell you what else I noticed. You looked at Lacazette, and there's 1 or 2 other players, I think Torreira as well, the previous game. There's a danger of what we call soft tissue injuries, hamstrings and things like that going with people.
Muscles,
the exertion, you know, the fast twitch fibre stuff, sprinting, stopping, closing down. You know what I mean? That type of activity, physical activity, is very wearing on the body.
Yeah.
And with all the succession of games coming up, this is why I'm saying to fans, look, let's just calm down a bit, man, because yes, we've made improvements and it's good to see. But the way I hear some of them talking, man, they're saying, oh, yeah, we're definitely going to get top 4, we're going to win the FA Cup and win the Europa League. I'm like, yo.
And the thing was very evident with Arsenal's team, when you look at that Leeds game, you take Aubameyang out the attack, it's not half as good. You take Torreira out the midfield, Xhaka seems to go all over the place next to Guendouzi. So we've got 2 or 3 key players who, when they come out of the team, seems to have a big effect on our side. So you need a good squad to maintain that high press, because like you said, you're likely to get injuries, and that's where I worry a little bit.
And you segued nicely into something, another point I was going to mention. Obviously, we're in January, so we're in the middle of the transfer market. So I think he's going to have to dip in the market at some stage, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he's got to, but the problem is, what market is he shopping in? We're on the TK Maxx sale rack right now.
It could be in the Sports Direct.
Looking for some bargains.
Yeah, man, because... so, I mean, he's going to have to look to strengthen his squad, isn't it?
I mean, we're being...
What areas in particular would you like to see strengthen?
I think the defence, the middle of the defence. I think the middle of the midfield as well.
And we've been linked with a few players, right?
Yeah, Boateng.
I'll take him.
Short term, I would take it.
I mean, I know some people are questioning the age and all that, but you know what's funny? Because it's ironic, because you get in the football world, it seems that, you know, past your 30s, people need to proclaim you as finished. Yeah. But in other sports, you're reaching your peak when you get to that time.
And the worst thing is,
we've got guys like Kipchoge running like sub 2-hour marathons, and he's 30-odd years old. Yeah. And yet people are trying to tell me that if a guy's over 31,
he's finished.
By virtue of him being over his 30s, he's finished, which I must say I struggle to comprehend that. But anyway, you take it away.
Yeah, so Boateng, and then we're being linked with Upamecano. But I just don't see Arsenal spending big money in this window, if I'm honest. No. I don't see the board putting their hand in their pocket. I think we'll make loan signings. Yeah.
We've been linked with Nathan Ake as well.
Nathan Ake, yeah.
Now that's a guy I would definitely
He's a good player, but I don't see us getting him in January.
No, I don't think
Bournemouth are in a dogfight. They're not going to sell their best defender.
No, that would be suicide for them to do that. So
I think there'll be short-term fixes and then maybe long-term in the summer.
I mean, listen, if we can get Boateng, who's a quality, experienced, very good defender with a good head on him, somebody that would be very useful next to a more maverick defender like David Luiz, who'd also be cover. I think that works.
Yeah, especially till the end of the season.
Yeah.
I'd take him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But like I said, so do you agree with me then that we perhaps need to slow it down?
Yeah, I think we do. Look, I think it's good to be optimistic, but don't get carried away. He's not yet Pep Guardiola. He hasn't won 10 trophies, but
I think it could be a case of, because we've been in the doldrums recently, now, you know, there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Looks like gold now,
yeah,
don't it?
everybody's getting super excited. I think we just need to calm down a bit, let the man do his thing. He seems to know what he's doing. I'm very encouraged by him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've been impressed.
I think the trouble with the fans getting so excited and so euphoric over those 2 wins is that if we then experience a dip, then you just go back to the other end of the spectrum again.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm cautioning against people. Let's just
keep it
calm
balanced,
down a bit. Keep it straight,
yeah.
Keep it reasonable, and then we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
So guys, let us know what you think, man. Are the fans blowing smoke up their own arsenals? Do we need to just rein it in a little bit? Or are you one that's excited, optimistic, and think that there's no problem in shouting from the rooftops and saying we've got our Arsenal back? Let us know, man. Text, let us know what you think. Email us in, whatever you want to do. Let us know what you think. Thank you very much. As you already know, people, we like to conclude our show with a regular feature that we have. It's called Ops of the Week. Our next Ops of the Week is an away game on Saturday, early kickoff, Crystal Palace. Curtis, you're a resident expert, man. Take it away.
This is a tough game.
It is.
Every time I've been there, you know, good atmosphere. Zaha, he's going to have it all to prove, you know, he nearly signed for us in the summer. Yeah. He's going to fancy his chances, but...
Zaha versus Pepe.
Yeah.
It was written.
Yeah, the Ivory Coast wingers. Do you know what? I really want us to go there and attack them. I've seen us too many times go there and sit back. I don't think Palace are great at the back. I know that Milijevic, is it the guy who scored the penalty, he's suspended. Yeah. So that's their set piece taker out of it. I think if you can cut Zaha out of the game, they haven't got much else after that.
Not seemingly.
Not really.
But they do seem to raise their game whenever they play us, don't they? But they're one of those teams that we perennially struggle against.
Yeah.
Even if we beat them, it's always a hard-fought game.
Yeah.
Pulling up the receipts of their last 5 games, it's been a bit up and down. I mean, they've only won 1 of their last 5. That was against West Ham. But they've only been lost 1 as well. That was away to Newcastle. And they've got 3 draws in there. Brighton, Southampton, Norwich. So, you know what? It's not great there for them. No. It's just that when Crystal Palace play us, they seem to find a new lease of life. And of course, as you hinted at earlier, going to Crystal Palace is going to be a crazy atmosphere there. Yeah,
early kick-off, they'll be well up for it.
Their fans make a lot of noise, especially when teams like Arsenal turn up there. So,
I actually think we're going to beat them.
Yeah, you know what? I'm optimistic, man.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard fought, but I think we can get a win there. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go, I'm going to go for 1-0.
Yeah.
1-0. I think it'll be a tight game.
Yeah. You know what? I think we could concede.
Do you?
Yeah, I think Palace at home, they're going to fancy it. They're going to come at us hard. And I think that we're probably going to concede a goal, maybe a set piece, maybe even a penalty. You know, Zaha, he likes to draw a lot of fouls.
Yeah, he does. He got a penalty last time, didn't he?
And especially at home, you know what I mean? With the ref and that, he might be a bit sympathetic to one of those little swan dives that he likes to do. So, I could see us conceding a goal, but I think it'll be hard fought. I think Roy will have Palace set up a more counter-attacking style. Yeah. But I do think that we can come through with a win. I mean, in terms of the lineup, who do you want to see start? Pepe's got to play.
Pepe, Aubameyang, stick with Lacazette as well.
Yeah.
Because even though, I've been a little bit critical of him, but I think we need to stick by him. He just needs a goal.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think his work rate in the last 2 games has been phenomenal.
Yeah, superb.
He was arguably man of the match against Leeds, even though he didn't score.
His socks off.
He did work his socks off, and he was tackling back and doing all those sorts of things. So, I'd like to see. In fact, I'd like to see the same team pretty much.
I think probably the same team that played against Man United.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd play the same
formation.
Yeah, same formation. Xhaka and Torreira, Ozil in the pocket.
So, people, same team, same formation, hopefully the same result. Well, people, that's the end of the first show for 2020. Hope you liked the show. Let us know what you think about what you spoke about earlier, about do you think that the fans are blowing smoke up their own arsenals? Do you think we can get a win against Crystal Palace? Let us know. Like, share, subscribe, keep commenting. Curtis, only leaves for me to say, man. Big up.
Yeah, man.
Tell the people where they can find it.
Yeah, check out the channel, Curtis Shaw TV. Just reached 5,000 subscribers, so just keep supporting, man.
Yeah, man, this man's doing some good work. Check out his channel, man. Like, share, subscribe, and keep it coming.